Welcome back to the ELM Prep series. This is part 12, and we're going to talk about estimate or estimating answers. Estimating can be really helpful for you in getting through your test in a timely manner or narrowing down your answers so that you don't have to look at all of the possible answers. So estimating is a really valuable tool. I cannot stress how much that is useful for. Let's talk about estimating a square root. Or let's start with something easy. Square root of 25. Well, square roots are saying what two numbers that are the same when multiplied together give me 25. Well, obviously 5 times 5 gives me 25. So the answer to this, the square root of 25, is 5. 5 times itself twice gives me 25. All right. Well, that was easy enough. Well, how about the square root of 27? Well, as we said, 5 squared was equal to 25. But this is a little more than that. We know that 6 squared is equal to 36. So 27 falls between these two numbers. So our answer lies between 5 and 6. It's really close to the 25, so if I were estimating this, I may say 5.1 or 5.2, something in that range. So in estimating, and they like this question, estimating square roots, you want to ask yourself, what two numbers give me a number between that? So if I had the square root of 37, let's make this 39. I draw a number line here, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to make those a little closer. Yeah, let's make those a little closer. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of room. Well, the square of 5 is 25. The square of 6 is 36, and the square of 7 is 49. So the square root of 49 would be 7, the square root of 6. But our square root lies between these two numbers. So our answer lies somewhere between 6 and 7. So our approximate answer of the square root of 39 is it's a little more than 36, so I might say 6.2. And on your answers there, they should be pretty definite. On your ELM test, you will notice your answers always go from left to right, small to large. They do not mix up the numbers, which is really nice because when you're in a hurry, you don't want to search and find some little trick answer where they've shuffled the numbers on you. They don't do that in the ELM, which is really nice of them. So in my answers, I might be given something like 3, or they might just do this. They might give you a number line, and they might say, okay, here's 5, and here's 10, and they'll break that 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll say, okay, where possibly does, and they'll give you an A, a B, and a C, maybe something like that, and a D out here. And they'll say, where does this lie? Well, using your knowledge that 6 is 36, 6 squared is 36, and 7 squared is 49, you know it lies between there. So the only number between 6 and 7, oh, that wasn't bad of me. I put that C in the wrong place. I'm sorry, I did put it right. Way to go. Here's 6 and here's 7, and I know it lies between there, so my answer would be C. So that might be the way they ask you that question. All right, estimating square roots. Let's do this. Oh, here we are. Here's another estimate. They want to know the area of the circle. And they tell you that r equals 3. And you know that the area of the circle is pi r squared. Well, if they leave it in pi, we just square that and we'll get 9 pi. But if they were to ask for an actual answer, let's say they give you a decimal answer. Well, we know that pi is approximately 3.14, and in this kind of question they will give you this as a data point. So you say, well, what's the estimate of that area? Well, 3.14, r squared is 9, and 3.14 times that. In this case, I would start with just 3. 3 times 9, I might estimate 27, and of course it'll be a little more than 27. So I'd look at my answers, and if I had something like 26, 27.3, and 29, that would be my answer for dive bombing. If they go down a little closer to 27, they go 27.2 and nice 27, 27.2 and 27.41 or something like that. Now they're getting a little closer. I might have to go a little closer. So 3 times 9 is 27. And 1/10 of 9 is 0.9. So I'm going to add 0.9 to my answer. So now I'm looking at 27.9. So that's a little closer answer. So now I can get a little closer to what they're asking. But that's one way to do estimates. Start off with if I'm dealing with a decimal 2.57 of 29. Well, if I'm looking for a quick answer, this is approximately 2, which would be 58 and a little more. Well, maybe my answer is I have 2 58s. So this is 0.5. What's half of 29? So it's 2 times 9 plus 0.5 times 9. Well, half of 9 is 4.5. So I'll add another 4.5 on here. So now I'm a little closer at 62.5. So now my answer is a little closer. Hopefully that gets you to your answer, and if they go even finer than that, you may have to look at 700ths or 0.07 times your 9 and add that to that answer. But usually you won't have to go that close. That's another way of using estimating. So dealing with decimals, I'm going to take parts of the decimal and try and get my answer without having to multiply the whole thing out. Let's do this. 37 times 29. Well, this is almost 40, and this is almost 30. This is below 40 and below 30. So I could just do an estimate of 40 times 30, or 4 times 3 is 12 with 2 zeros. So it's going to be less than 1200. Well, if I have some answers that get a little more finite than that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this up into 30 plus 7. That's really 37. And again, I might go an estimate of 30 here because that's pretty close to 29. I'll do 30 times 30, which is 900, and then 7 times 30, which is another 210. And that will give me 1110, if I've done that right. Hopefully I have. But it's a little less than that still because this is a high one. But what I did here is I broke this up, and then I take the 30 times both of those and then add them. This is 30 times 30 plus 30 times 7. So this is one way of breaking your numbers up and estimating your answer. That way since you're working with a calculator, you don't have to be doing a lot of math, like let's say we were doing 37 times 29. Well, that's a pretty impressive. I start off here 9 times 7. 7 nines are 63. Oops, sorry about that. 63. Carry the 6. 3 nines are 27 plus that is 33. And then 2 times 7 is 14. Carry the 1. And 6 and 1 is going to be 7. And then I add them up. And so we get 3, 7, and 10. Well, we said it was less than 1110. And our answer actually is less than 1110. But our estimate might have been quick and easy, whereas this took a little more time. And you want to do this. The reason for estimating is to reduce the time you spend on a problem. The less time on one problem allows you more time to spend on problems that are a little more complicated. So the thing we talked about this time was estimating, and a couple ways of estimating. We estimated square roots, and we estimated some multiplications and some percentages. All right, so thank you for joining us for our ELM Prep Part 12. Hope you got a little more out of this. Have a good day.